There's not a perfect order, but I like to think of it in terms of five major buckets, right? Five big buckets. We got cash, we have taxable accounts, we have Social Security, we have our pre-tax IRAs and 401ks, and then we have our Roth. Those are our five, and that's the rough order I would break it down to. And I'll explain kind of how I got at this. People are asking, where should I pull money out of? Well, cash is easy because obviously a lot of times it's not in permanent type investments that are compromised if you pull them. So cash, we a lot of people rule of thumb 6 months, 6 months of expenses, maybe 12 months of expenses. Either way, when you have those type of things, we always say grab there first. Obviously, that's what it's there for. And then you can kind of replenish it systematically over the course of the upcoming years. That's an easy one. Taxable accounts, a lot of times these are your brokerage accounts, right? You have some stocks or you have some money markets or whatever the case may be. These are a good secondary place to go. Now, there are some limitations, right? They could have some capital gains there because it's a taxable account, right? Your stocks could have went up, we hope. You also have maybe some stocks you don't want to sell quite yet because you like them. Those are things that are considerations when you're deciding which ones to pull from, which ones not to. But don't forget about capital gains tax. It is out there. The third one is Social Security. If you haven't turned it on, it may be time to turn it on, right? Sometimes you got to do the math. We love it when people are healthy and say, hey, we're going to wait a little bit longer. It allows our tax planning to be a little bit more effective, which is a great thing. But at the same time, Social Security grows at 8% a clip every year. We want to push that out as far as possible while we're getting money out of your IRAs and 401ks with our tax map. But sometimes it's time to turn it on. And obviously that's a great, income supplementer that, can really make a big difference in retirement and covering a lot of the expenses. The fourth is the IRAs and 401ks and, the pre-retiree tax accounts that you owe income tax on. Eventually these things are going to get taxed. I mean, we tell everybody, hey, I don't know if I want to take it out, I got to pay tax. It's like, these things are going to get taxed no matter what. It's just a question of when and how much. It's the biggest tax liability on your balance sheet in retirement. It's not close. It's probably the biggest liability in your retirement. And we have to get Uncle Sam back his money. So these are usually number 4 on my list. And then last but not least, the Roths, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, are the last ones to grow, or last ones to access because those are growing tax free. And when it's going tax free, that means no matter how big those accounts get, you're never going to pay capital gains tax on. So a lot of times that's the last one. That's one we want to give to the kids or grandkids if we can. So that's the last. Everybody knows that's kind of the last resort if we need liquid cash. So again, first cash, then your taxable accounts, then Social Security, then your pre-retiree IRA 401k accounts, and then fifth, obviously your Roth accounts is the order that we try to break that in, Randy.